What is up, guys? It is your LOL support here, and today we're going to be bringing you guys a Thresh guide. So we're going to be showing you guys kind of roughly how to play Thresh, things that you should know, things that you need to keep in mind when playing Thresh, and it's going to be a good time. We're going to make sure that you guys get out of here with the good game knowledge on how to play. So without further ado, let's get into some of Thresh's abilities. Now, I am recording this live, so I'm not going to be editing out live, but I'm going to try and edit down this video and make it a little bit shorter, because I know a lot of people don't have the patience, or some people don't even have the time to watch like a long 33-minute video. So I'm going to try my best to edit out the downtimes. But let me just explain the passives really fast and the abilities so that I can start editing out and shortening up the clip. So, Thresh's passive, Damnation. Thresh collects souls of the dead enemies by walking near them. Souls permanently grant him armor and ability power. Champions and large minions always drop a soul, whereas small minions sometimes drop a soul. And Thresh does not gain armor per level, meaning that Thresh is going to be a softer support against ADC harass. So you have to keep that in mind. You can choose to run an armor page, but you just need to keep an eye out on collecting souls. You can't fall behind on collecting souls, or else you're going to have 0 armor. His Q, Death Sentence. You throw out a projectile and you have a chance to grab the enemy, and from there you can reactivate it so that you can jump to them. But after you grab the enemy, you're going to get like 2 little tugs, and it's going to be that is going to stop them from auto-attacking, from casting abilities, things like that. It can also disrupt channels. It will pull enemies out of invisibility like Teemo, because it does move them. And this can help you get over terrain. So say if you're running away from somebody here, red buff is up, you can hook to the terrain, or you can hook to the minion and pull yourself over. I think you'll see me leap a couple times with my Death Sentence. W, Dark Passage. A Thresh will throw a lantern to a point. If an ally is near the lantern and clicks it, if an ally near the lantern clicks it, they get picked up and Thresh pulls them over to him. If they're near the lantern, then they're going to go ahead and get an additional shield as well. So right here, you're seeing me weave in auto attacks against the Graves. I was still getting used to Soraka's new abilities. I mean, this is the first time I ever played against her in a game, so I was kind of mystified by it. So let's go into his E ability, Flay. Flay is a different ability. Flay follows a typical combo of Thresh's, which is Q, Q, E, and ult, and that's typically like a good, solid combo. But Flay's active is very straightforward, whereas his passive is not. Deals 1 to 40 magic damage on each hit that builds up when not attacking. This value is equal to the total souls collected plus up to 80% AD, based on the amount of time since his last auto attack. So you can deal a significant amount of damage. Right there, burning the flash out. She didn't really make flash. So you get to deal bonus damage on your attacks. I like to take a level in this first, just because it helps out your harass in lane. And then I typically don't max this till second max. Yeah, it's pretty nice ability. Let's go into his ultimate, the Box. Creates a prison of spectral walls around himself. Enemy champions who walk through a wall will suffer 250 base damage, and this will scale, and are slowed by 99% for 2 seconds, but break the wall. Meaning that you can't have 3 people walk through one side of your wall and all of them be slowed. Only one person will get the slow. Okay, so now that I've gone through a lot of his abilities, let's go into playstyles and why I'm doing what I'm doing. So you guys see, I like to pick up the coin instead of picking up the Targons. And the only reason is because I like the mana regen that I get off of Ancient Coin, and it's a more like secure gold income to have as a Thresh. So One thing I want to make note of is on champions like Thresh or Blitzcrank who can use bush control to harass or use bush control to zone, I typically like to take an early sweeping lens, and I will have my ADC trinket the river. The reason I do this is because bush control, as somebody who has a catch-out potential like Blitzcrank or Thresh, is very, very, very essential. You see, I'm weaving in auto attacks on the Graves and going into the bush. Weaving autos, going into the bush. And what this allows me to do is this allows me to zone out the Graves while my ADC gets easy time farming. Easy time. So you're going to see this play out. So every time I know that the bush is awarded because I just swept it. So I'm going to move up, get hooks, flare backwards, and then that's all we're going to do. We're just going to trade like that. You see, I auto attack in the bush, so I grant vision inside of the bush. Auto attack, bush check. Auto attack, bush check. And that's always going to be helpful for you to use as a Thresh or a Blitzcrank who can pull at any moment. See right here, walk out of the bush, auto attack, go back into the bush. Right here, get her out of a nice pull onto the Graves. Weaving in some good autos, but we are just going to kind of back off of there. As a support, your job is not to stand behind your ADC. Your job is to position yourself so that you can zone out the enemy laners. Zone out the enemy laners from getting XP and having an easy time in lane. I want to make it as difficult as possible for my enemies to lane. Right here, Vi just comes in, tries to do some damage on the Lucian. You see I'm just peeling for the Lucian. And we're going to survive that gank. Now, the reason I kind of expected that Vi would be ganking there is because Soraka chose to stay instead of basing. And she had relatively low mana and health. So there's only really one way you can predict something like that. You can say like, oh, you know what, it doesn't make sense for them to stay. Why are they staying? You know? And then that usually gives off ganks. That usually gives off things where you don't need to have a ward down necessarily. You can just go for your instinct and go for deductive reasoning and not have to like be in trouble and die. So right here, just walking back in the lane, and I'm gonna wait for my Lucian. And right here, we notice that Graves is in lane by himself because Soraka based at an inopportune time. So we're gonna go ahead and pick up some of this wave, and then we didn't notice this at the time. Like we thought maybe Soraka was just back more, but then the more I skewed it up, the more I realized, oh man, Graves has zero support. I should move up and zone him at this point. Yeah, there we go. So just weaving in auto attacks. I throw out the hook. We're able to grab the Graves. I didn't want to follow up my hook though. You can't always follow up your hook. Sometimes it's better to just have your hook on them and be close enough to use Flay. Because if you follow up sometimes, and if they have like a dash ability or if they have like a flash available, it can really pull you into a weird spot that you don't want to be in. And I'm not necessarily at a dueling potential with this team, or against this team, so I don't really want to go in just yet. So you see I'm going to come over here, I'm going to pop a ward down. Now the reason you pop a ward down right there is because it gives significant vision of just everywhere on the map, or not on the map, but like of that ward's location. I placed it a little bit too deep towards the blue buff, but if you position that right, you should be able to see Dragon, and you'll see the outskirts of blue buff. So it's a very powerful ward to have. Right there, going back to the same old auto attack, bush check, and he gets a nice flash off, but it will not be enough, and we do pick up the double kill. You see, that was just good positioning by me. I was in a position to where I could catch out the enemy's mistakes. Alright, so after that double kill, we just kind of pushed down turret, got a little bit of damage off on the turret, and I went ahead and put a little bit more aggressive wards. The reason I warded right along here was simply because that covers all pathways that Vi could take, including through the river, through any means of her jungle. We can have this. Now, you need to think about wards in a different aspect than everyone thinks about them. Everyone thinks like, oh, I have 3 wards, I'm only placing 3 wards, and when they run out, I can place more wards. Wards are expendable. you know, you have to realize that as a support or even as like a laner, wards are meant to save you and keep you safe in certain positions that you choose to acquire. So I know that was kind of like a mouthful. If Fiora is right here, she knows she's going to be here for like a good amount of time. She should ward here, here, and here, or maybe even get a deeper one to here and here, so that she's safe in the meantime while she is at that position. If Fiora changes locations to here, she should put more wards down to ensure her safety in that location. So there's no point of warding twice deep in the enemy jungle just to get vision and then leave. And like, the ward doesn't do anything. It doesn't save you. You know, you're not actively using your money. Right there, getting a nice play off, delaying the flash, and we were able to pick up the kill, or not delaying the flash, canceling the flash. But I hope you get what I mean. Like, wards should help you as a person and as like a champion in having a safer time in lane and not giving up kills. If I ward up here, that's not doing me anything. If I ward down here, that's more accomplishing my goals. Another thing, I am slightly ahead as a support. My laner has 4 kills and I have 4 assists. So what I did was I went ahead and warded for my enemy, or for my allied mid laner. Just because what that does is it keeps them safe. You see right here, I'm pushing up my vision line because we're about to take this turret, and I would like to have a straight line of vision right here so that I can see any potential ganks for when we're in here. You see I create that safe little pocket from their turret down to our turret of vision. That's the reason of warding. You're trying to keep yourself safe inside of small areas of time where you're in an unfavorable spot. Like this, I don't like being there. That you can get ganked so easily there. So why not create a line of vision that keeps you safe? You know? So that's the whole purpose of wards. And when people think about wards in that aspect, their warding becomes a lot more efficient and a lot more effective. So don't be afraid to like cancel out some of your wards by placing more than 3 wards. So you see right here, just sweeping out again. Sweepers are very important for me just because I need that push control. So we're gonna go ahead, get some damage off onto the Graves. And I'm gonna try and drop the turret just because I want to use those wards. But if not, that's fine too. So I know I have bush control right now. I know that this bush is clean. So I'm more than happy to stay in that bush. So right here, Graves didn't base, so Lucian didn't base. In turn, I really could not base. It was kind of like a awkward position. You know, I can't really I can't base and leave my ADC behind with no mana. I mean, their ADC is there with no mana, but Soraka's there, so it's just kind of like keeping them safe right there. Soraka goes to ward. I see this opportunity. I know she's going to go try and ward, so I'm going to try and cut her off of the warding spot by grabbing hook, going in, playing, using my ult, etc., etc. And we're able to pick up a very easy kill on her. And what that kill allows us to do is that kill allows us to push down this turret and base. And we needed a base. Let's check the gold count on the Lucian. Yeah, he has 2k gold saved up. I have about 1.5k gold saved up. So this base is going to be huge for us as far as money. Look at that. I got all that gold. I'm going to go spend that. And let's see what I end up picking up here. You see, I haven't used much of my biscuits. They haven't been really stopping me. So I go ahead and pick up the coin. The reason, Talisman of Ascension. There we go. Woo. Man, didn't even look at that name and I knew it. But the Talisman of Ascension is going to help me out with my mana regen and health regen, I believe. Yes. So it's going to help me out with all that. It's going to give me a little bit of movement speed, and it's also going to give me cooldown reduction. And I also like the active on coin. I feel like it synergizes very well with Thresh's kit. Thresh's kit is kind of like a sticky kit. It has a lot of like peel, but also it has a lot of catch. So it's the coin, or the Talisman of Ascension synergizes very well with it because it can allow him to catch up to somebody, land a pivotal hook, and get more out of that fight. So right here, I knew Soraka was there because of wards. However, I was not able to pick up a catch on her. Alright, so right here, sorry about that cut. We got into a little skirmish, and Jace is pretty big right now. So I'm a little bit afraid of Jace, but right there I just get a flash in a box, and a flash box will pretty much stop anyone from chasing you. Oh, the health potion's barely saving me. So right there, just Thresh, or not Thresh, Jace is pretty big right now, and the only person equally as big is our Lucian. And Lucian's in bot lane right now, so we don't really have much chance of fighting against the Jace right now, unless it's like a huge catch out to where I can chain all of my CC perfectly. That's another thing with Thresh, you need to be able to chain your CC well. So like, if you land a hook, right away pull your Q, and right away flay, like you're not utilizing the amount of time that you have for CC. You see right there, I waited the full 2 tugs, and then flayed afterwards. So after the 2 tugs, go in, flay. I'm maximizing the amount of time that Akali cannot use abilities, and I'm maximizing the amount of time that Lucian has to catch up to us and pick up more kills. You see I just landed a good follow-up hook onto the Akali, and we were able to secure that kill, and the coin allowed my Lucian to get another kill. Now, taking this turret was a little bit foolish of us. Was not the best choice. However, it happened, and you know, things happen. Sometimes we die. Okay, so let's take a look at my items. I went ahead and bought the chain vest. Now, the reason I bought the chain vest was because Jace is doing very well for himself, and seeing as how I don't really scale well without having, I don't really scale well in the armor department with my passive the way it works. So you see, I picked up the additional chain vest, and that got me a good amount of armor. And now I'm going to be able to survive a little bit more of Jace's beatdown. So you see I'm just itemizing in accordance to who I'm facing. So I see Akali's in a little bit of trouble, or not Akali, Fior's in a little bit of trouble here. So I go ahead and hook the Akali, but I saw Jace coming back in, so I didn't really want to go. But then the second I saw that they were still trying to fight, I was like, alright, let's just go for it. I'm going in. So we get the nice hook onto the Soraka, and Jace is trying to escape. I land another hook onto Jace, and we were able to secure that kill as well, and that was actually a very good fight for us. Right here, however, we do end up making a mistake. Pantheon goes into lane when Vi was camping out in the bush just waiting for something to happen. So you see right here, I missed the hook, I ping him off the bush, but it was too late. The lantern was too late as well, so we're just going to have to get out of there. And this base was on a ward, so I was very nervous for her, but she ended up making it out, I think. Oh, yeah, she made it out. Okay, cool. Oh, I would have felt terrible. So right here, pushing up. I want to start warding up the. River right there. You saw a little minion hop. There's no objectives to be had in the bot lane right now. You see, we have towers pushed up to there. We got dragon taken. What we can't start taking is mid turret and then go over to Baron. But the enemy team can do the same. The enemy team can get Baron as well. Alright, so right here, meeting back up into the mid lane, I get a nice catch onto the Jace. However, Pantheon's jump gets cancelled by Jace's hammer, and we were not able to follow up any kill on my catch. But it's okay. So, let's see, what are some tips that I could give you guys for playing Thresh? Knowing how to hook is very key. Thresh's hitbox for his lantern, or his hook, kind of works in the same aspect as Blitz. You can get a little bit of a reach around hook. If you look at my other guide, I show you guys how to grab with Blitzcrank. It's kind of the same way, not as much though, so you're not going to be able to pull off as many like grabs like that. However, with Thresh, you do have the amount of save potential like you see right here. So to save an ally, it's not necessarily always going in as Thresh. You can run away as Thresh, throw a lantern, and still be useful to your team. You know, Thresh is one of those supports that running away may do more help to your team than staying and being a man like Leona or something like that. So you see, we just got a pink ward down here. We're kind of turtling right now. There's really not much we can do at this point. We have a couple people down or at base, so we just kind of have to wait this one out. Wait for the enemies to show themselves, and we're going to try and get kills. So you see they're doing a really good job of warding up on our side. The enemy team's doing a very good job at warding. So we're trying to use our sweeper to the best of our abilities and cancel out as many wards as we can. So we're going to go ahead and speed this up. So you see we have Vi over here on the left hand side, so I was pinging off of that. Telling my team, hey, Vi's over there, back out, back out. And that was able to prevent them from kind of collapsing on us and ganking around us. So Vi makes a run towards bot lane, right? Assuming that they have no wards, Vi would not know that they were going in the direction that they were going. She might have seen them break this river, but there's no reason she should have chased. So what her chasing gave away to me was there's some person in the bot half of the jungle that can follow up with her damage. I see Jace in the middle, I see Graves bot, and we don't have eyes on Soraka or Akali. So my instant thought is Akali and or Soraka are in a bush near here, and they're ready to get jumped on. So you see I go ahead and go in and follow up. So right there, Akali was right there, as I said. So a lack of wards isn't necessarily blindness. You can still get a good amount of intel from how the enemy moves, and you have to be aware of this. You can't always just depend on just what you can see and not do anything about it. You have to be able to use your reasoning and figure, okay, there might be a couple people here. With the way that the enemy is moving, you have to guess, and it is a guess above all else, but it's an educated guess that you can really deduce from valid reasoning. So right there, I burned the flash out of the Jace. He does land a pretty good hit onto me, but I'm gonna see if maybe I can get another catch out there. Jace with no flash is going to be really good, just good to have, just because it's going to allow me to have some certainty in that he won't get to my backline as easily. He can still jump hammer, but jump with his hammer, but he can't really get to there without committing all of his escapes. So right here, Akali's getting a good amount of chase off onto me. We get kind of sandwiched here, and that's not very good. Probably ideally what we could have done was we should have probably backed off and gone on through the graves. However, hindsight is usually 20/20. So we're going to go ahead and speed this up and go into some of the items that I'm getting now. You see I pick up the Randuin's Omen, making myself even just that much more sticky the second I get to somebody on the enemy team. And I just like having all of the utility to stick to somebody as Thresh. As Blitzcrank, maybe not so much. I like to think of my Thresh as kind of like a Skarner, in that once I'm on an enemy, there's no way I'm getting off. Like, we're getting you dead, or you're gonna have to base. And nah, that's not even an option. We're gonna kill him, right? Yeah, right, yeah. Right there, accidentally activated my Omen. Didn't mean to activate it there. So you're going to see we have a little fight breaking out here. All I'm doing is I'm trying to position myself in front of my Lucian to block any of the Jace attacks. And right here, going to come down. I see the Jace, and I hook so that I can calculate for a sidestep while also having enough lead to where if they don't sidestep, I'll still catch them. It's kind of like a sweet spot that you come to learn. So right here, I know Akali's only exit point is through here, and I figure that since Graves walked this way, Akali's probably going to be walking this way as well. So I go ahead and just hook her only way of getting out. and I'm able to pick up a good hook on her, and then you saw the other follow-up hook. The right thing for them to do is just go around all the way like that. In this game, a lot of people don't take the long routes because they think it's a long route. But the thing is, you have to keep in mind that the long route is also the safe route. So right there, I get a nice hook onto the Graves, and Graves is forced to flash out, and I end up exhausting Vi because Vi has enough damage to potentially kill Lucian. So I wanted to make sure that she was neutralized. I'm kind of zoning with my hooks right now. The enemy team does know that I've been landing hooks. So by them knowing that, it's zoning enough right there. Try to grab the Jace, however I was not able to. I'm going to go back, Flay. It was not any use because she ended up ulting, but we ended up picking up another kill there. And we're going to go ahead and go back in now that their backline initiation is dead. So right here, I'm going to try and land a hook onto the Akali. She kind of pathed a little bit differently. And we were able to pick up the inhib off that. Now the reason why we rotated down, right, is because we have vision here because of the minion. We know that they have to stay here. Top lane is pushing. Bot lane was already at the turret with Lee Sin. So Lee Sin being here in and of itself is just the right choice because we're going to an ally. But we saw that the turret was low as well, so we are able to pick up another objective just by simply going to our teammate. Right there, you saw a little minion hop. Right, the white just canceling my base. So we're going to go ahead and speed this up. The purple team is trying to surrender, however they are not successful in it just yet. However, they do end up surrendering at 33 minutes, I believe, or we take the base, one or the other. Either way, we do end up picking up a victory. You see I pick up a Kindle Gem. The reason I like to pick up the Kindle Gem right here is because it's a good amount of health to keep me nice and tanky. And it's also cooldown reduction. I don't necessarily build this in the Spirit Visage right away. I can choose not to, but as a base item, it's nice. Base item for Spirit Visage is what I mean, but it's a nice item to have. The cooldown reduction is nice. This gives me 30% cooldown reduction, which is good on Thresh. Not the best. You probably could go 40. And you see I also have the Spectral's Cowl, so I do end up building the Spirit Visage this time around. However, I would probably prefer picking up the Kindle Gem before I would picking up the Spectral's Cowl, if the AP on the enemy team is not as large. So right here, I see that we're getting chased out. Good kick by Lee Sin. I go ahead and hook the Vi just because I wanted to ensure that there was no way that she could ult or do anything fancy like that while we were running away. So right there, Fiora just simply got caught. And Jace tries to tower dive me here. However, that was a good flash by him, I have to admit that. But the second he jumps to me, like, you have to know the enemy's kit. So Jace in hammer form has 3 abilities. He has a knockback, he has a jump, and he has an AoE, right? He just changed to hammer form after being in gun form. Where is he going to go? He's going to jump to me. So the second I see his jump, I go ahead and put up my wall. At most, this wall is going to slow him so that my turret can do damage to him. And at best, my teammates are going to catch up and we're going to be able to pick up the kill on Jace. I knew he was going to jump, so I just saved my ult until the very last second to where he jumps in, and then we're able to pick up a very, very easy kill on the Jace. Right there, Pantheon gets a very nice jump onto the Vi, and we are able to pick up that kill as well. And our ADC is now godlike. I wanted to pick up this Baron, however, I don't know why Pantheon chose to jump there of all places. I mean, I guess that's an example of just wanting a kill. However, we are not able to pick up the Baron buff just yet. I'm going to go ahead and base. I'm probably going to be finishing off my Spirit Visage on this base. And some good boots that you can buy. If you're ahead, Mobo boots are very, very nice. If your laner is the type of laner that you can leave alone and not have to worry about them dying. So, great duelists, like Lucian is a very good person. Draven, another good person. Someone that's not good to leave is someone like a Caitlyn or something like that, someone with limited escapes. So if you have somebody that can handle themselves, go ahead and pick up an early mobility boots so that you can roam around and make a difference elsewhere. Lucian was 4-0 in lane. I didn't have to stay in lane with him. I just kind of stayed in lane because I was too lazy to roam. But the correct thing to do there is you have the option of just doing that and roaming. And the early mobile boots will help you roam. Right here, me trying to pick up this ward was simply greedy and not very smart, so I knew I was dead. Just gonna go ahead and try and get as much dancing off as I can. And we do end up picking up the death. That was just a simply my mistake. No way I was getting out of that. I didn't want to burn summoners, even if I had summoners. I didn't have any summoners. But I did end up dying there. Oh, so sad. Another thing, try not to buy when you're dead, because the enemy can see what you purchase when you're dead. So wait till you spawn to buy. Have an idea of what you're going to buy, but wait till you're alive to buy. So right here, I don't know why they pinged Baron. It's open inhib, 1 turret till Nexus. Just go and end it. A lot of people drag out games unnecessarily by going for kills or going for Barons when they don't need to. Just simply go for the Nexus. Alright guys, I really hope that you enjoyed this Thresh guide. I hope that I covered everything. If you guys have more questions about Thresh or the role of support and how to zone and do things like that, feel free to leave a comment asking, and I'll make a how to zone / be a support guide, and I'll just kind of revamp the one that I already have out. But again, I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I do have a new project coming out, and I will be probably going into detail about that on Monday. All I can say is that I'm going to be starting school soon, and I'll post another video about that. Anyways, guys, I really hope that you enjoyed it. Once again, feel free to leave a comment down below if you have any questions. And as always, this has been your LOL support, and I am out of here.